Today I'm in Grantsville, Nevada, a once thriving mining town that, as you can see, is no longer the boomtown it once was.
But before we get into the story of Grantsville, we have to get there. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, and once the paved road ends, you still have another 7 miles to go on a dirt road. This dirt road can be pretty bumpy at times. It's sort of a long and lonely road, but you're not completely alone. You may see some cows along the way. And if you're really lucky, you might see some wildlife, like these pronghorn.
Well, we're getting closer to the town now because we are getting into this canyon here.
The first thing I noticed driving in was this building up ahead, but on the other side of the road, there was a platform or an old foundation, so I wanted to check that out first.
I don't know what used to be here, but there was definitely something here. There are these threaded pieces of iron coming out from these big timbers. And there's all kinds of bricks and stuff on the ground here. And across the other side of this small ravine, there's a sign that says danger, because there are a lot of old open mine pits around here. I didn't notice this when I was driving in, but there's also some ruins over there that was on the left side of the road. Now I want to take a look at that. That was the biggest thing I saw when I first came in. It looks like the remains of a stamp mill. Let's get a closer look at that. Pretty cool to be able to actually walk around in these ruins. I want to be careful walking through here because I don't want to damage anything. Oh, there's another building up here. Wouldn't mind having a look at that. There was probably an easier way to get up there, but that was a faster way. I don't know what a lot of these buildings were, but it sure is cool just seeing stuff that's been here since the gold rush and the silver rush back in the day. I find that fascinating. So here's the backside of that building we were looking at from down there. And I want to take a peek inside, but I'm not climbing in there. I'm going to use the camera on a boomstick again to get a shot of inside that building and see what we can see. And then here's the backside of that building again that we were just in a few minutes ago. There's a lot more to see, so I need to get back down to the road and walk down further and see what there is. Here's another one of those danger, unsafe mine signs. There are a lot of open mine pits like that. All right, let's go check out some other stuff. All right, so just across the way from this building we were just checking out, there's another old abandoned building over there, so let's go check that one out. There's a lot of debris, old barrels and other things. Close to that building now. And it looks like there's another one of those open mine pits over here. We'll go poke our head in there first, then we'll go look at that. All right, let's see what we can see. Just looking at that may give you an idea of why they put barbed wire up around these things.
There's still a lot more to see, but I want to talk a little bit about the history of Grantsville. To tell the story of Grantsville, let's start at the beginning. In 1863, a man by the name of P.A. Havens discovered gold here, and you can probably guess what happened next. Word got around, and a mining camp popped up with people coming here looking to strike it rich.
The town was born a couple of years into the Civil War, and the founders of the town were very pro-Union, so they named the town Grantsville after Ulysses S. Grant. The town grew slowly at first while people were exploring the area to try to find the best places to start mining. Over the next few years, miners and prospectors moved to the area, but Grantsville was not what you would call a boomtown yet. Gold was discovered in 1863, but it wasn't until 1877 that this town really started to boom. It was at that time that the Alexander Mining Company started to invest heavily in this area, constructing a 20-stamp mill to process ore. The mill was later expanded to 40 stamps. It was this large investment and the development of the industrial capacity to process a lot of ore that quickly transformed Grantsville from a mining camp to a thriving town with a population of about 1,000 people. With that kind of growth, other businesses sprang up. Things like saloons, a general store, hotels, and even a local newspaper, the Grantsville Sun, which published its first issue in October of 1878. The quickly growing town also opened a post office in 1879. Grantsville had 2 routes for stagecoach transportation, and they were even considering putting in a rail line. This truly was a boomtown. But the good times didn't last long. The local newspaper, the Grantsville Sun, started in October of 1878, but shut down in June of 1879. It lasted less than a year. After a short time, there were already some signs of decline, but there was still some growth happening as well. By 1881, the town had a bank and an express office, which would be equivalent to something like FedEx or UPS today, a service other than the post office to deliver mail, parcels, and other valuables. But Grantsville was in decline. The easily accessible ore was depleted, and this had a significant impact on the town. By 1884, the population of this once bustling town had dropped from 1,000 to about 400. And by 1886, only about 50 people remained. The post office closed in 1887, and Grantsville was dying. Grantsville was dying, but it wasn't dead yet. There were some glimmers of hope over the years that the town might make a comeback.
But more on that in a minute. For now, let's explore the rest of the ruins, and then I'll tell you about the many ups and downs of Grantsville.
Let's get a closer look at this thing. Well, I don't want to go and climb around on that thing. I don't want to damage anything, and I don't want to damage myself either.
But I can put a drone in the air and get a closer look that way.
Looks like there's another building back there that has sort of fallen over. I can't spend too much time over there, but I do want to get a closer look real quick. And I do see more stuff down there to go have a look at. It's getting a little late in the day, and it's getting cold, and I don't want to be here after dark. I want to be on my way home, so I got to move kind of quickly here. Right after driving down the road a bit more, we came to this building. This was the next one I saw. So let's check it out. Go around to the other side and have a look at some of that stuff. Wow, look at the brick deteriorating there. I wonder how much longer this will stand before the rest of it comes down the way this corner did.
This building was the schoolhouse. Here's a picture of it in 2007. And this is what it looks like in 2025. A lot of deterioration in just the last 18 years.
Well, I see another building over that way and over there, and what looks like maybe foundations and a wall that's only about 3 feet high. Well, I was gonna go down, the main road is down there, and I was gonna go to that building next, but it looks like this little side road, if you can call it that, goes up to this building, so we'll check that one out. Well, the more I walk around, the more I see. There's another building over here, or the remains of a building. You can still see the A-frame over there. What used to be an exterior wall, and now is just a pile of wood. All right, so we're coming up to this other building, but there's more barbed wire over here, so presumably another abandoned mine shaft. Okay, so this wasn't a mine shaft, but it looked like a pond of some kind. I don't know how recently that was in use, but all of the pond liner looks to be torn up pretty bad. A little bit of a pond over here. Ice and snow all over it. This is cool. You can see the stone walls and then logs and I don't know, bark or some kind of thatched roof. It looks like even gravel on top of it. Oh wow, look at this. There are bones all over here. That is a very large vertebrae. I don't know what those are, but my guess would be cows. One, because there's cow poop all over the place, but also because I've seen a lot of cows around here, but I don't know. But wow, there are a lot of bones. It looks like there is a window I can peek in, so let's do that. All right, I can't see much from my point of view, but I'm interested to see the footage when I get home. That building and a couple of ruins over there, I'm pretty sure are the last few things to see here in Grantsville. That front wall looks pretty good, but here in the back, things not looking so good. All right, let's go up to that one over there, and then we'll take a quick peek at whatever's left of those. Well, just a few walls remain.
The only other structures out here were the remains of a few buildings with walls only a few feet high. Now back to the ups and downs of Grantsville. A little while ago I said Grantsville was dying, but it wasn't dead yet.
There were some glimmers of hope over the years that the town might make a comeback. The Webster Mines Corporation was responsible for 3 attempted revivals of this town. In 1916, they bought the Alexandra mine and renamed it in an attempt to rejuvenate mining activities in the area. This period did see some investment in mining infrastructure, But this revival was short-lived, and mining was halted again in 1918. Maybe because the high-grade ore was exhausted, possibly because of post-World War I economic conditions. In 1921, the Webster Mine Corporation again tried to capitalize on this area's mining potential, but they gave up again in 1923, likely for similar reasons. Finally, in 1927, they remodeled the mill, probably in an effort to expand operations and modernize, but again, operations ceased in 1928. In 1939, another company stepped in to take their shot at mining this area. Silver Palace Mines constructed a 50-ton flotation mill. Rather than crushing ore and letting gravity separate things, a flotation mill uses chemicals to capture the desired materials, and this is a more efficient method. But despite this technological advancement, the mill only operated until 1940. In 1945, there was yet another revival of this town. The Alexander and Brooklyn Mines Company focused on mining lead for the war effort during World War II. They managed to produce about $50,000 worth of lead, but the demand for lead likely decreased after the war, and the mines closed in 1947. This was the last attempt to revive Grantsville's mining activities. Every few years, a company would come in when market conditions may have been favorable enough to make mining worthwhile, or when technological advancements increased efficiency enough to make mining profitable. But all of these were short-lived revivals. Grantsville subsequently faded into the ghost town you see today. That's the story of Grantsville, Nevada. If you enjoyed this journey back in time, consider hitting the like button and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. If there's a ghost town or a historic place you'd like to see me visit, let me know in the comments. That's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.